Hello, I'm Sammy Faircloth. I'm a freelance writer and author of the Caravan Handbook and the Motorhome and Campervan Handbook. I'm here in Shrewsbury at Salop Leisure, and I'm going to share with you some top tips on what you need to consider when looking at buying a second-hand caravan. Okay, so now I need to put my buyer's hat on, and we're looking at a Bailey Unicorn Vigo model here today. So what I'm going to start doing is we're going to have a little look around the exterior of the caravan and things that you need to look out for when you're looking at buying a second-hand van. So first of all, let's consider things like external sockets and gas points. So this one has a really nice external gas point, which is fab for your barbecues in the summer. And then moving down to here, we also have an external 230 volt socket. So that's great for those that like to plug in their TVs in their awnings. And it's also got an aerial point as well. So that might be something that's on your list of must-haves. The next important thing is your external lockers. So always open these up and just really check them out. Check for the size and space. Can you fit a chair through the hatch? We're now on the offside and we're going to have a look in the gas locker, because it's important to know what size gas cylinders you can fit in your gas locker and how many. And it's pleasing to see that with the Bailey Unicorn we've got 2 points for the gas 6K gas cylinders. So that's absolutely fantastic, especially if you're off-grid caravanning or going abroad. Next, something people don't think about is the tyres. It's really important to check the age of the tyres. So what we need to do is we need to age them, and there's a little mark. It's right down here. It's 4 digits. It's 2622. 26 is the week of the year and 22 is the year, so that's 2022. So that's really important to check, because they do recommend with caravans that you change the tyres every 5 years. I know that might seem like, you hardly use it, but it's really important that you do that, because what you'll find is you might get wear and tear on these side walls, and give them a good thorough check for cracks or bulges, because if they've got cracks or bulges then they definitely need to be changed. And I would also say make sure you check the spare tyre as well. The great thing about this Bailey, something I really like, is the light, service light it's called, and that's really handy if you have to just come out at night to maybe check your gas or general services on this side. And then finally, the one final check that's really important to check is your windows and your side panels. So obviously when you're towing, sometimes these scrape along tree branches along the roads. So have a little look on the windows and just see if there's any scratches on those. And also just look down the side of the caravan, and you're just looking for scratches down the side. Fortunately, this caravan is in absolute tip-top condition, so we won't have to do any work on those windows. Right, let's now take a look on the interior. But just want to point out, this is a fab feature of the Bailey, is the stable door, which is fantastic if you've got dogs or young children, because you can keep them inside. Okay, down to the nitty-gritty now. We're inside and it's lovely and warm in this Unicorn. Now what we're looking for inside is, the first thing I do when I walk into a caravan is to do the sniff test. You might wonder what that's all about, but damp is a real problem in some caravans, and I find that if you walk in them you can really smell the damp if it has got a leak. And I'm pleased to say this one is in, well, perfect condition. I can't smell any damp in this at all. But it is also important to check, has it had a damp check done in its last habitation service, and have a look at the certificate for that. Then we need to look at the upholstery. So check the condition of the upholstery. Is it in good condition? Is it comfortable to sit on? Can you lie on it as a single bed this way? The other thing is the colour to your liking. If you've got dogs or children, you might not want to take leather upholstery, or you might not like a light colour because they'll show all the marks. But remember, you can get the upholstery treated to protect it more. And then the next step is to go and check all your lockers. And I would go and check all your lockers to make sure that they open nicely, that they don't slam down, and just check the space in each of them, and is it enough for the space that you require. Now, if you love cooking in your caravan, which we do like to do, it's really important to see what features you need in your caravan kitchen. Now, one thing that I like is a lot of worktop space, and as you can see here with the Bailey, they put this lovely worktop over the top of the glass on the gas hobs and hot plate. So you've got, if you're not obviously using that, you've just got that extra room to prepare your vegetables or whatever. Check the size of the sink. Is it big enough? And is there space for a draining board? Because that's a real bugbear of mine if there's nowhere to put your draining board. And with this particular caravan, you've also got the luxury of the additional tabletop space here. So there's loads of space on this Bailey. It's really good. And I really like the microwave as well. The microwave has a fixed plate inside, which basically means you don't have to take the plate out when you're towing. So that's great. Check the cupboards. Are they big enough for what you need? Have you got space for your pans? Have you got space for your crockery? And then you need to check the other cupboards out. Now, this is obviously used to store stuff at the moment, but this would be your cutlery tray. And check the closing. Does it close nicely? Is there enough space for all of your kit? I know I certainly have a lot of kit in my kitchen. And then we go over to this side. Now, I really like this Thetford fridge. It's enormous. So if you're going away for long, lengthy holidays, it's really good to have loads of shelving. You've also got a freezer, which you might like if you want your ice cubes or your lollipops, and a really nice deep vegetable rack as well. So that's a really fab fridge. So think about, do you need the fridge for lots of vegetables, cans of drinks, food? Because if you do cook in your kitchen, you'll need a good sized fridge. And this obviously also has the Thetford grill and oven, which for a second-hand van, this one's in fantastic condition. In fact, I'm not even sure it's ever been used. And this one has lovely wine racks as well, which suits me down to the ground. Now, one thing that a lot of people have a personal choice on is what sort of bed they have. Now, what I'm sitting on here is what's called a transverse island bed, and they're great for double beds fixed. I think they're fab. You've got storage underneath this as well. Now, as I say, it's a personal choice, and it depends on the size of the person that's sleeping in it. Now, this one does pull out to a 6'2", which is perfect for us. It's also quite wide, this is, which is unusual. It's a double bed size, and that is because of the way that Bailey have designed these lovely wardrobes. They kind of go in, which gives you that extra width, which is fab. So at the moment I'm sitting in this bed in day mode. So what it does is it actually allows you far more space at the end of the bed during the day to get to the bathroom. But what I'm going to do now is show you it in full mode, because one thing you do need to check with these beds is if you've got it pulled out fully, you need to be able to walk around the end of the bed for that person to get to the bathroom. So let's have a look. Now, this caravan isn't an 8-foot wide caravan, so this is where sometimes it can be a bit tricky, but this is in full mode, and as you can see, it is pretty good for walking around the end of the bed to get to the toilet. Now, also what I really like about this caravan, as I say, is the good sized wardrobes, the lockers all the way along here. So you've got plenty of storage in there for your t-shirts and trousers and skirts. And then you've also got storage either side, so loads there. And then if I just push this back up again, just push it back in so it's a bit easier. Lift it up. That's great. Look at the size of that. You'll definitely get your folding chairs in there. And then obviously you've got the table that goes at the front that's nicely stored and easy to get to. And this holds up on really good gas struts. So that's a fab feature. And then we've also got something that the ladies will like, and I certainly like, and that's a dressing area with additional storage. So really have a good look. This one opens as well, so you can put your perfumes in. Lovely mirror as well for applying makeup. And you've also got a TV point. So it's these sorts of things that you need to think about in the bedroom area. What is it that you would like? Do you want the fixed bed? Do you want makeup beds? Now this caravan you can actually make up from the front as well, so and make that up into a double. So if the kids do decide to come away with you, there's somewhere for them to sleep. So finally we're down to the washroom area. One thing I always recommend to people is, I know this is going to sound really bizarre, but sit on the toilet and just check your knee space. Because if you do have long legs, you might not fit on the toilet, but that's really important. And this Bailey has loads of storage space. There is loads. My daughter certainly would be able to store all her ablutions and kit and stuff that she has, and all her makeup. Now, next is the shower, and again I always recommend stand in the shower and just check the headroom. I mean, my husband's 6'2", so he definitely has to check, but as you can see there's loads of room here. And these are always great features in caravans because you can hang wet coats that can drip into your shower tray. So just think about how you could use your washroom to the max. And also, what kit has it got? Has it got a light in the shower cubicle? Is it something that you're going to use regularly? We do use our washroom quite a lot, our shower particularly, as a family. But check the lighting. Is it enough lighting to do your makeup? So once you've done all your visual inspections, this is the point where you sit down with your salesperson or the private seller, whoever it is, and we start looking at what paperwork we need to check. So one thing is the manufacturer's handbook for the caravan. Has it got one? Now you can normally download these from the manufacturer's website, but I will warn you that they can be many pages long and they can be quite thick. So bear that in mind if you do decide that you're going to print that from the website. So it's great if it already has the handbook with it. The next thing we need to check is the annual habitation service that should be carried out every year on a caravan. And you need to have that carried out in order to keep the warranty on the van. So ask to have a look at that. If it's been carried out by an approved workshop scheme, then what they'll have is a fantastic checklist of all the things that they've checked and where there might be areas that are areas of concern. But also they do a thorough damp check as well, and they will have a certificate on the damp situation. So that's really important. You really need to ask if you could see that as well. The next thing to check is it registered with CRIS, which is the Caravan Registration Identification Scheme. Now, for a very small fee, you can actually contact them to see if if it's been stolen, if there is any outstanding finance on the caravan, or if it's been written off. They do obviously need the VIN number, the vehicle identification number. They will need to know the address of the person that was selling the caravan, and they'd need obviously the details of the caravan. Now the VIN, the vehicle identification number, just to sort of show you, you won't see it very well, but I'll point out where you can find it, is normally a little sticker on the window, and it's got this digit here, and that's what CRIS will require to check the caravan. But it's really important that you do get this check carried out, and if you're buying second hand from a dealer, it might be that they'll carry out that service for you. Right, we're almost there. So other things to consider is the warranty on the caravan. Now, if you're buying from a dealer, chances are they'll give you a 1-year warranty, or there may be a warranty that's carried over from the manufacturer. So check that with your salesperson, because warranties are really worth having. Then the next thing is the handover. So you've had a look round, you've decided this is the caravan of your dreams, and you want to go ahead and buy it. But just ask the dealership, if it is a dealership or it could be a private seller, what's the handover procedure? What I really love, I've bought from Salop Leisure in the past, and the handover is incredibly thorough. And what I really loved about their handover is that they had somebody video the handover process. So one guy was teaching us how everything worked, which was really good, because some of these things are quite technical, like the Swift. Well, on our caravan it was a Swift. On the command unit, you need training in that. It's quite complex. But they go through it all thoroughly, how everything works, and it's all videoed, so you don't have to take notes. And then when you buy your caravan and take it home, you can refer back to that video if you think, oh gosh, I've forgotten how that worked. So that to me is just second to none, and that's something that Salop Leisure offer. So just ask about the handover process and what's involved, because that's really important. Now, be aware that owning a caravan can involve buying extra kit. So when you buy, looking at your second hand, find out what it has on board, what might have been added from a previous seller, because it might be that you want things like a motor mover. Most people like a motor mover to get their caravans on pitches and on their driveways. I know I certainly like a motor mover, but also things like air conditioning units, towing covers, full covers for storage, or maybe an awning. And when you're at a dealership like this, they've got awnings in their accessories shop. So this is a great place to come and buy those accessories. But just have a think about some of the kit that you can have added, and see that it's not already on there. This caravan, for example, we were surprised and pleased to see that it had its own Wi-Fi system wired up, so that's fantastic. So just have a little bit think about the accessories. So really, all in all, that's hopefully covered most of my top tips for things to consider. Oh, and just to finish off, what I would do, have your little checklist, have it written down, and when you come and have a look at these, tick them off as you go. Yes, it's got that. Yes, it's got that, because there's a lot of things you need to think about, so you don't want to forget anything. So good luck, and hopefully you'll find your dream caravan.